What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel for the morning movie chat. I am your host, Trinity. Thank you all so much for being here once again. I do greatly appreciate anytime you guys show up to see me flap my gums about movies and just different things like that going on out there in the world. Now, in case you guys don't already know, it's Friday. That's right, and you know what that means, right? You know what Friday means. Yes, you know that means that Friday is here and tonight is the Trailer Park Live, the night in which I get to spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's gone on for almost 4 hours. One time, in which I go ahead and talk about things a little bit more uncensored than I do here on the morning movie chat. And again, thank you all so much for being here. Now, if this is your first time here, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't like it, feel free to give it a thumbs down. It's okay. I actually have absolutely no problem with you giving me a thumbs down. It believe me, it doesn't take away or feed my ego, no matter what. Because yesterday I actually just released a comic book review, which is so funny. A comic book review that got 2 dislikes. It was a review for Ghost Rider, and I'm kind of surprised. I'm like, I just it's just a comic book review. I don't know what you disliked about it. Maybe you didn't like what I said in it. I don't know. Either way, it's nothing I look into too much. But thank you all so much for being here. Russell Wells Benjamin, thank you so much for being here. Always a great supporter and one of my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. And just in case none of you know, you can always go to Patreon and support the channel. There are some links down in the description where you can go and do that. You can donate through Streamlabs, a direct donation one time, or you can even get on Patreon and do a one-time donation, or you can become a monthly supporter of the channel. And again, all that I do greatly appreciate it for. And I'm very close to being able to get that new green screen so I can, just kind of do some different things here on the channel, just some stuff I want to do. Hopefully it works out for the better. And again, thank you all so much for being here. Russell Wells Benjamin says, no spoilers. Russell, you don't have to worry about spoilers here. I haven't seen the movie myself. I have not seen the movie yet. I may not get a chance to see this movie probably until Sunday evening. I might be able to sneak away on Saturday. It's really hard to say. Maybe Saturday morning. I don't know. All I know is I've been looking forward to this movie. I can't wait to see this movie. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna talk about the movie and some of the reviews that have come out here, and that's really about it. And for me, none of them really come as any kind of surprise or anything like that. So yeah, don't worry about spoilers or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. And in most cases, even when I do reviews, I like to do spoiler-free reviews, for the most part, because I mean people need a chance to go out and see the movie, and also because if there's somebody out there like my wife don't even like watching trailers because she don't want it to like spoil the movie for her, so she don't kind of so she goes in fresh. So I completely get it. I totally understand, and yeah, like I said, I'll never do that to you here. Now, if there is a point like I would let you know that in the headline and the discussion that it's going to be a spoiler free or anything. But like I said, I myself haven't seen the movie yet. Um, but that is going to be the main subject of what we are going to talk about today. So let me know down in the comments below. Russell Wells Benjamin has already said that he hasn't seen it. What about you guys? Have you guys gone out and seen Joker at the theater yet? Now, obviously, it premieres tonight, but as we all know, it seems like all these movies these days, they all premiere. They all open at our local theaters on Thursdays. So and that's a good thing for a lot of just nerds out there, nerds like me, nerds like you. If you're here on my channel, chances are you're one of us. Yeah. You're one of us, man. It's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to be a geek. That's what we're here for. You know what I mean? And, especially in this day and age, I'm going to tell you that's okay. That's what we're here for, because it seems in this day and age, more and more people are out there just trying to push you away from being a geek and being a nerd and wanting to join our fandoms and be a nerd and a geek and have fun just like us, whether it's going out to a movie or reading a comic book or listening to music or anything like that. It seems like there's just such, just like a whole bunch of people out there trying to push you away from bringing you in to enjoy all of these things we love. And to me, that is an absolute travesty. You guys know I talk about this a lot here on the channel. I don't like it. I get sick of it. To the point where it actually makes me feel physically sick. And I'm telling you, in case you guys weren't here last Friday, there was some things I was talking about, and I went and talked about them for for quite a while. I kind of exploded. I had good rants, and maybe I do need to make a clip of that and put it out there. A couple of other people have suggested that, and I've just been so busy I haven't had a chance to. But yeah, and like I'll tell you, like it physically makes me sick because Saturday I woke up not feeling so great. I woke up, I feel like I got hit by a dump truck. I actually felt sick, and the whole weekend I was feeling kind of, ugh. And it could be for a number of reasons, but generally I don't really ever get sick, so it's hard to say. But again, that comes down to just people, just creators and their integrity, whether it's the media, whether it's YouTube creators here, just like I am, just like you are, anything like that. It's something that really makes me sick. And it's funny, before we get into the main topic of the topic here today, I just want to let you know, in case you guys don't know, I realize one of the creators I like. I won't say he's one of my favorites because I haven't really watched enough of his videos out there, but Mad Max Movie Talks. And he's kind of a polarized character out there, as opposed to people who like him and people who don't, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to like everything everybody likes. You don't have to like the channels I like. You don't even have to go support them, pay them any attention or anything like that. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm sure Mad Max is as well, and I'm sure the other people here in question are as well, because he did this really great video yesterday, Mad Max. And it's so funny that he did this video yesterday because it was something I actually even talked about here on the show yesterday. And it's something that was even actually talked about on the shows in which I reference a lot, and that being the John Campea show. Now, yesterday, yesterday I was talking about just like creators and the media and how they kind of go out there and perpetuate problems. Perpetuate problems out there in the media. Just things, whether it's how good a movie is, how bad a movie is, whether they like it, whether they don't, and they're trying to tell you what you need to think about it. And to me, that's absolutely wrong. I'm not ever going to tell you how to feel about something. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. I'm going to ask you how you feel about it. And I'm going to take all that stuff together, and we're going to put it together and mash it together in this ball, and we're going to make some sense of it. We're going to make some sense of it, right? That's what I'm all about here. I'm not here to form your opinions for you. I'm not here to bash you for your opinions or look down upon you or beat you up for your opinions or anything like that, because that's the great thing about the world, is we all have our own unique outlook on these things. You know what I mean? If we all thought the same, what kind of a world is that? Is that even a world that we want to live in? I think it's not. I think it's absolutely not. We are all individuals. We all have our individual thoughts and things like that. So, again, that's not what I'm here for. And so basically, Mad Max did this video yesterday, and he has, and I wanted to just let you all know, I extend my sincerest condolences to Mad Max. He had a tragedy recently hit his family. So he's gonna be going through a lot over the coming weeks, possibly the coming months, because what he's going through are things that aren't easy for any of us to go through at all, and we all have losses. We all face losses. And we all face these tough times in our lives. And again, I just want to say, just extend. We've been trying to organize and get together and get creators on board. And in case you got, but oh man, it looks like it's getting ugly over here on my OBS. Which I won't be surprised. Very bad ever since then. I was trying to watch LB's live stream yesterday, and it was just being absolutely ridiculous. And it looks like it's doing the same thing today. Thanks. And this is no blame on YouTube guys over there, Spectrum. But at least we have a connection, and hopefully you can at least hear my voice, whether or not the frames are dropping or anything like that. Maybe I should just get rid of all that in the media. And when I say the media, that's not just like journalists with their viewers and not perpetuating a problem. And that's something that Josh at the Den of Nerds has been trying to put together, is organize this movement of creators who want to make a positive change out there for viewers. Not perpetuating a problem. You can be critical and not be negative. You can be positive even in your criticisms. And it's something I totally stand behind. Like I said, I'm a huge supporter of the Den of Nerds, absolutely the channel. And Josh actually did, for the Patreon supporters, depending on what tier that you are a Patreon member of, does these business vlogs. And he did one yesterday saying he didn't think he's very good at these vlogs and things like that. And I got to tell you, it was an absolutely great vlog, and it kind of gave you a day in the life of what he does as a creator for his channel. And if you don't follow the Den of Nerds, I'm telling you guys, you guys need to go over there and support them. I truly believe in Josh and the Den of Nerds and his mission and what they're doing. Not even aside from the Grey Order, but altogether what they're doing. He is a very great, insane voice out there in this YouTube landscape of creators who just seem to want to pander for hate clicks or just views and things like that. That's not what he does. So he says it's okay. It's just a podcast now. Yeah, so again, I hugely support them, and I encourage every single one of my viewers to at least go there and watch some of their videos and check out what he does. Go back and check out the evolution of the channel. He's doing something great over there, and you can see that in the way the channel of his has grown. Absolutely great creator. But Mad Max was even talking about the same thing yesterday, and just kind of like, we all need to, and I've been talking about that a lot here, the integrity of people out there and what we're putting out there. And in particular, yesterday he was talking about this clip from John Campia's show yesterday. Now, I'm not sure, let me know down in the comments below, because that John Campia is kind of what inspired me to start doing this morning movie chat, and as well as his co-host Robert Meyer Burnett. They do an absolutely great job talking about the movies and just things going on out there in the world as it pertains to movies and just our movie going culture, I guess you could say. And but did you guys catch the John Campia show yesterday, or if not, did you catch any of some of the clips that apparently people out there are talking about? Let me know down in the comments below. So what it was yesterday somebody wrote in a question asking him about Star Wars and just kind of like a lot of creators out there and how they kind of same thing, they perpetuate these this issue, which it is an issue that's undeniable that there is an issue. Okay, first off, I'm going to say that every single time when I talk about this, that there is an issue. First off, okay, there's a problem. We all see it, we all know it, but how much we talk about and perpetuate that problem or that issue is an even bigger problem. And one of the things he was talking about was, just because he doesn't necessarily, just because he thought The Last Jedi was okay, he's not saying it's the greatest movie or anything like that. But even if he didn't like the movie and he just outright hated it, he's not going to go out there and make a bunch of videos, like every single day or, however many times a week or however many times a month, beating down this movie and just beating up the dead horse of something that he didn't like about a movie. He's going to express his opinions and move on. And that's the same thing I do. That's the same thing I believe in, except for with the fact of the same thing I will beat up, because it is a constant problem, is how these problems and these issues are being perpetuated out there throughout social media. And I'm not even just going to just say media, because it's social media, through a lot of us creators and different things like that. So but and I absolutely agree with him 100%, that they're, you don't have to beat a subject up. Just put your opinion out there, and that's it. Even, and I feel the same way if you love something as well. If you like something that much, I mean, go ahead, let everybody know that you like it and this and that. That's okay. But you don't have to make a video every single day, or twice a week, 3 times a week, every single day of the month, however, praising this one thing. Okay, you don't have to do that neither. It's okay to just let your opinion get out there, be heard, and when somebody asks about it, go ahead and answer the question. But I mean, to go out there and just like, I don't know, it always seems to become kind of perpetuates into a problem, and that's not what I base my content around. That's not what he bases his content around. But there are other people out there who base their content around this. And Mad Max Movie Talks was even talking about this other creator, and we all know Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. He's a polarizing character out there. A lot of people like him, some people love him, some people hate him, and everywhere in between. Everybody has their views on Jeremy, but he actually did a video too, kind of firing back at John Campia about this comments that he made in his video, and just talking about all these different stuff. I didn't watch the actual Geeks and Gamers video. I just watched what Mad Max had put out there on his video, which, believe me when I say, was more than enough. We all know that Jeremy is kind of one of these larger than life attitudes out there. He's got a persona. And the thing is for me, and I'm not a subscriber of theirs or anything, and I'm not saying that anybody has to like him or dislike him or anything, and I'm not saying I dislike him, but we know that for him, this is more of a popularity contest being on YouTube. We could see he's gone out there and, the same thing with like the PewDiePie and whoever that other guy was, whatever, T-Pain or T-House or Ice-T, frick, I don't know, man. You know what I'm talking about. But it's like some sort of popularity contest. And, like I've seen videos before where, Jeremy's like, oh, like I've got more subscribers than the John Campea show. Congratulations, bro, you made it. And I'm getting ready. Plug your ears. This right here isn't gonna be safe for work, but who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? I don't give a fuck about your popularity contest. Anyway, because that's really what it is, dude, I don't care who has more viewers than me, whether I have more subscribers than somebody or anything like that. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. But like I said, we know that Jeremy's one of those kind of attitudes out there, one of those personas out there. That's what he does, and hey, that's okay. That's okay. I'm not against that neither. You do with your content what you want to do with your content, and he does this stuff because he knows that it upsets people. He knows that people come after him and all those kinds of things. Who cares? That's okay. And that's the thing. And I've told Mad Max that too. You don't have to keep going after somebody. You just don't have to. It's okay to ignore people. Sometimes silence is golden. It's okay to be quiet and not express our opinions at times. You know what I mean? It's okay. We don't have to talk about it. But, Jeremy went and made this video talking about, the same thing, like, oh, we all love these movies and we all this and that and blah, blah, blah. We're big fans. We're out here in New York City in the rain and la, 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 la. Look at me, Mom. Well, here's the thing. And, there's plenty of people out there that subscribe to them and subscribe to John Campea. Probably both. Some one, some not the other. I'm one and not the other. And again, for me, it's not a popularity contest, and it's not about me hating Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers or anything like that. It's not like that. For me, it's a non-issue. But to me, I think the thing is we can see that it's a popularity contest for some, and that's what they make out of it, and that's completely their prerogative. It's their channel. I'm not here to tell anybody how to run their channels, and some people like that, and some people don't like that. Me, I'm just one of those people. I'm just like, whatever. But the thing is and here's the thing is people constantly talk about these kinds of things. They're talking about fans and how we have to feel and all this and that. We don't all need to feel the same. We don't all need to agree on the same things. That's just not. It's not how it is. And like I was talking yesterday about that post that Doomcock had made, talking about normies and how they have no love for this or that. And the thing is, it's completely it's a falsism in the fact that just because you're a normie doesn't mean you're not a fan, and it doesn't mean that being a normie is a bad thing. It's just that if you're a normie, you need to know your place. Don't be a normie that goes out there and just Googles everything and looks everything up, and all of a sudden you're a friggin' expert at it. Okay, like that. There are people out there who are great at that. Some of those people out there who are great at that is my personal favorite, and a guy who I think is deserving to be probably the biggest, one of the biggest Star Wars channels out there, is Lord Callus. You guys should go check out Lord Cal's channel. He's absolutely great. Another one out there that is really knowledgeable about this stuff is Ryan Kennel from RK's Outpost. Very well-spoken gentleman as well, and he knows about his Star Wars EU as well. He did a video about it. It's one of his first few videos. These kind of people, they know their stuff. These guys aren't normies. These are the guys who can drop the knowledge on you that you need to know. If you're a normie like me, I'm telling you, I watch these guys' videos and I learn something new every single time. But again, it's something I was talking about yesterday is we all got there's different levels of fandom. We all have our opinions, and it's okay. This isn't a contest. Being a fan is not a contest. Being a content creator is not a contest. For some, it is, and that's what they make of it. And like I said, that's perfectly fine, because all of us have to find something to motivate us to get out of bed every day and do everything that we do. And that's one of the things, like I was saying earlier, Josh from the Dinner Nerds did this business vlog yesterday where he kind of showed a day in the life of it. And I'm like, dude, bro, like I make trashy videos every day, man, talking about stuff. And I know the work that I put into it, let alone somebody like Josh. And I think if you guys seen that business vlog, if you were a $10 Patreon supporter of his and seen this business vlog, you'd probably have a newfound respect for what this man does. Going out there, waking waking up in the mornings, and there's other people out there that do that as well, but waking up, going out there and absorbing all the information and putting out the quality content that he does, you'd probably have a newfound appreciation for Josh over there at the Den of Nerds, or even your favorite content creator here on YouTube, because I can guarantee you every single one of us are putting a lot of effort into our channels and into growing our channels, and not even necessarily influence, but that just kind of grows with us putting in the work into our channels. And we can see there's far too many people out there who just want hand-me-downs and things like that, pick-me-ups to be propped up and stuff like that by all these same people, through people, and by all means, people use Jeremy for that as well. I'm not going to deny that people do, and it's a tough position to be in. But all that being said, I mean, what it really has to do is this problem that's going on out there in these communities with people telling people how they have to be, how they have to react, how they have to feel. It's just not how the world works. We all need to have different feelings and opinions. None of us are ever going to see eye to eye on every single thing. There might be a lot of things that we agree on and stuff like that, and that's okay. But to cause a division and perpetuate a problem is a problem. So, anyway, that's really all I have to say. Just covering that before we go ahead and get in here to the main topic that I wanted to talk about today. And I'm sorry I've gone on for quite a bit here. I see we've got several people here in the live chats, including Aggressively Relaxing. Thank you so much for being here, Russell Wells Benjamin, Drunk 3PO. Always a great supporter, and you can see he's got a wrench, man. He's got a freaking wrench. LB over at the Lonely Banter, thank you for being here. Carrie Neves, thank you so much for being here. Kobe Reviews Movies, thank you so much for being here. And if you guys go check out each other's channels here, a lot of these people are creators, and they are great creators. Josh Johnson, thank you so much for being here. Let's see, we got here. Aggressively Relaxing says, I need to check out that review. Johnny Blaze is a horrible king of hell. Mephisto shows up twice a week in Marvel books. He is supposed to be locked up. Dude, he got hell parole. What's going on? Yeah, and that's stuff I don't know. Like I said, I think I may have even touched on that in my review, that I don't know. And this book kind of gives you like this impression like you should know about some of these things, because one of them apparently is something that's referenced from a Doctor Strange book a couple of years ago that I never read. And one of them actually gives you a quote or an annotation for something that recently happened in the Absolute Carnage event, which is something that I did know. But yeah, go check out my review. Again, I'm not a huge Ghost Rider fan, not never really read Ghost Rider before at all. So I did the best I could in my review. And please feel free to leave me your harshest comments on my review, because somebody actually gave me 2 downvotes on it already, and my ego was hurting. Anyway, yeah, it's just funny how people are. And LB, welcome. Russell Wells Benjamin says, how do I get a wrench? Well, you know what? You're a Patreon supporter of mine, so you know what? You're gonna get one. You just got one right there. And you are a Patreon supporter. You are a very supportive Patreon supporter, and I do appreciate all the feedback that you provide here. And he says, become a Patreon. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he definitely is, and I think he told you that there. And Kobe Reviews Movies, thank you so much for being here. Let's see, Russell Wells says, video is coming through choppy for me. Audio is okay. Yeah, and I know, like I said, my internet's been messing up. This isn't OBS or YouTube in this case. I don't think our internet went down yesterday, and it was out for a while. It was pretty frustrating. Spectrum out there, they're limiting, and they're trying to hold me down from my online presence. He says, it's okay. It's just a podcast now. Yeah. Just turn off the screen and just listen to my beautiful voice. Listen to the sweet sounds of my voice as it comes through, crackling through your cell phone speakers or earphones or earbuds or whatever you're wearing or whatever you're listening through. Aggressively says, I think I think his show is very cool, but for real, that channel makes a lot of great positive content. Are you talking about John Campia's show, or are you talking about Mad Max, or are you talking about Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers? I don't know. Could you let me know there? He says, hey. And Drunk 3PO, welcome. How are you? I'm doing good. He says, you talking about me? Nah, No, dude. Matter of fact, Drunk 3PO, I still got to go watch your review. I've caught a couple of the reviews. I don't think I caught your review yet or Rhodes Rants reviews yet on the Joker. I've been busy, but I do plan on checking those out. Mike is in the frame. We know how you feel about this. Yeah, yeah, it's all. Yeah, I know it's in the frame. I'm not that worried about that. Um, he says Russell Wells Benjamin says if you're a normie, you need to know your place. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, you do. You need to know your place. I mean, like I said, I'm willing to admit when I know something about something and when I don't. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to act like I'm an expert about something just because I went and Wikipedia'd it and Googled it and all these different things and come out here and be like, oh, well, what happened here. It's just that's not for me. Again, I told you guys before, I'm not going to lie to you or mislead you in anything like that. To the best of my knowledge, I'm going to always be upfront and honest with you all. Russell says back in the theater for normies. Oof, I don't know. That's no, I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna mention that. Aggressively relaxing says you need to watch Rebels. Freddie Prinze Jr. is the greatest Jedi to ever live. I'll have to watch that too because I've heard that show is really good and as far as I've seen of it, it's really involved. It's not like your average cartoon. Tarazan, thank you so much for being here again. Tara is another one of my great Patreon supporters. I do thank you all for all my Patreon supporters for all their patronage and any amount of money that they are sending my way. I do greatly appreciate it. And I think at this point, I may soon have the money to go out there and get that bigger green screen, like I was saying at the beginning of the show. And that is 100% thanks to my Patreons. That's when I get that bigger green screen. It will be because of them, not because of me. Well, I mean, only because of me, because I'm making content and they chose to support me here on the channel. But it will be all thanks to them. Not a fan of the mic in the frame? Yeah, I know. I don't know. Can you still hear me good with? I don't know. See, that's the thing is sometimes I feel like maybe you can't hear me good enough. If it's not there in the frame, you got to see that I'm talking on a microphone. Aggressively relaxing says YouTube is hard work. They just legalized pot in the Marvel universe, and now I have to I have to produce a reggae song. Oh, did they? Did I miss that? What book was that in? I wasn't aware. He says it's sacrilegious. Russell says it's sacrilegious to have a mic in the frame. My heart, a wrench. He says, LB says, I don't like it either, but the mic I have, it is impossible. Yeah, it happens. And like I said, for me, I don't know. I think, I don't know. I almost feel better with it right there. I feel like maybe it picks up the sound better. I could be completely wrong. Russell says, what are you using for the mic's input? MIDI box or the built-in 3.5 millimeter? Well, I'll tell you, for me, I'm actually running on a Mac. So it's really odd how it works. It's 2011, it's kind of older. But I actually have a digital 8-track recorder that I use for when I'm doing my videos and all that stuff. It's pretty big and pretty large. These days they make them a much smaller and much more compact with probably all the same features that I got here. But that's what I do is I run the microphone into my 8-track and then out to my computer. And when I do videos with like other people, I do it the same way, but then I take the output from my computer, put it into the 8-track, and that's what feeds it to you guys so you can hear it and I can have a little bit of control over how good it sounds. A little bit. So yeah, that's what I use. It's pretty complicated for how I rigged it all up, but I've just been using the equipment that I've got, and again, with the support of my awesome Patreon supporters, I will always be upgrading some of these different things as they come along. Of course, there's probably a priority list of things that I'm going to prioritize since I have some certain equipment. It's probably falls more to the bottom of the list. But yeah, and the microphone I use, it's a Sennheiser. It's a fairly fancy microphone that I bought at Guitar Center. It's actually a really nice microphone. Drunk 3P says my review was a live stream. You good man? Oh yeah, no. Well, either way, I'm gonna be going to check it out. Russell says the normie thing I said was a quote from you. Yeah, I know. I see. I noticed that. Aggressively relaxing says John Campia. Campania? Is that how you spell his name? No, it's just Campia. Campia. it's well produced nerd news. Do you watch Red Letter Media? They make fun of him. I do watch Red Letter Media, but I'm not sure. Probably just don't put out a whole lot of videos, and sometimes they don't all come through my news feed. Because I was making that comment to Ryan Kennel earlier too. Is like I have noticed his things. I've got notifications turned on for him. I haven't been getting notifications from him, and we all know that there's problems with YouTube and the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. We don't really need to touch on that. It's just it is what it is. But I definitely need to go back and check out some of his videos. But yeah, Red Letter Media, yeah, they're funny too, man. They're funny guys, and that's what, like I said, I like all the different kinds of content out there. It's for me, there's just some things I like more than I like others, and that's really about it. And you can ask LB, he knows I like everything. I'm Kevin Smith. Oh, Russell says, "Hear you fine with it outside the frame." Okay, I'll take that into consideration. I'll take that into consideration here. Is that a little bit better? There we go. I was gonna say, I can always turn up the sensitivity and make it higher or lower. But there you go. For anybody who don't want to see my microphone, if you don't want to see my gorgeous microphone, I'll take it out of frame. And let's see, Snowdub, welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. He says, Jenner check. Ha ha, yeah. Woo! Got to get them Jenner checks going. Now, man, Snowdub, I missed your live stream yesterday where you were, was that yesterday? Where you were doing it like through the game, talking about like the game and stuff. But I did see somebody went in there and tried to hijack you. And, you tossed him a bone, man. And that was nice because nobody else tossed him a bone yesterday. Fatal J was out there doing a live stream trying to hijack people, and one of the first ones he did had me cracking up because he got shut down. It was funny, man. It was funny. But yeah. Aggressively relaxing says Kingpin is trying to legalize it in Daredevil. Well, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a damn shame that Frank Castle didn't stop him, because I didn't get to read that new Punisher number 16 this week, but I have a really, really bad feeling about Frank Castle and the Punisher series right now. And that's just going based off of exactly how issue number 15 left off. But yeah, go Kingpin, go Wilson Fisk. You do you, man. Wookiee Live Matter says, good morning, Nerf herders. Well, good morning to you, Wookiee Lives Matter, another great supporter here of the channel. LB says, he really do like everything. Yeah, I know, man. Well, what it is like, I don't like everything. Like I said, I talked about Dark Phoenix the other day. I didn't hate this movie, but I can't say that I really like it, because it just does so many bad things, and it actually makes me sad. Russell says it's just distracting with two shiny domes in the frame. Okay, aggressively says, check out Red Letter Media's Nerd Podcast to see them make fun of professional clickbait channels. It's incredible. I'll have to do that, because I don't think I've caught any of their actual podcasts. I just see some of their videos that are just absolutely hilarious. Snowdub says, Fatal J had me confused. Who shut him down? Oh, that was LB. It was hilarious too, because I was watching LB's channel and it came in there, and next thing you know, I just see messages deleted and stuff. I was like, well, I'm willing to bet he got muted. But there's more, kind of more that goes into that. It's not for me to speak on or anything, but I thought that was absolutely funny. But so yeah. We're going to go ahead and get into the main meat and potatoes of what I wanted to talk about today, and that is the Joker movie. It's finally out at the movie theater, and don't worry about spoilers. I haven't seen the movie, so there's nothing for me to spoil for you all out there. I'm just talking about the reviews that there are out there. It's already getting some great reviews from the people that I pay attention and follow. People have been loving this movie, and it's quite no surprise, and I'm going to get into a little bit of why here in just a minute. But one thing that I did notice was, one of my other favorite content creators, Eric July, Young Rippa 59 here on YouTube. You guys should go check out his channel, become a subscriber, become a Patreon supporter of his. He's absolutely great, does great content. And again, he's one of those people that not everybody likes his content, and I completely get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I mean, I understand. I understand. But he was talking about the movie and how he might not like it before. and how he was, the frame of mind that he was going into watching the movie and things like that. And he's not going to go into the movie liking the movie just to like it, liking it just because it's based on the Joker, liking it just because the media out there has been kind of getting out of control, or because of the comments that Todd Phillips has made in the media and things like that. But he was talking about some different things, and one of the things that I thought was interesting that he talked about, and it was something that I was kind of thinking even before his review as well, but just about this movie in general, and even just kind of some of the attention it's garnered, is about like gun violence and things out there like that, and exactly where they're going to take that. And he was talking about how there was kind of this, he's not sure that there was like an underlying message, or if it was done on purpose, about guns and things like that. And we how polarized that conversation is in our country, and I'm not here to talk about politics, but just kind of how it touched on that, and how it was reflecting the movie, and how people might see or perceive some of those messages in there. And I totally get it, and it's something I kind of figured would come out of the movie, as well as a conversation about mental health, and also about how we treat others out there in the world. And that's something that even Brian Kendall brought up, was about how we treat each other out there in the world, not even just the real world that we live in, our social interactions like in real life, but also on social media and things like that. And that's something that I'm glad that this movie is kind of talking about and building upon, because it's something that's something that is very important and should be talked about, especially in our world today. Now, and that's really all I have to say about that. Now, again, a lot of the reviews have been coming in glowing reviews. Obviously, we know Todd Phillips is a good filmmaker. I won't say he's a great filmmaker. To me, he's a great filmmaker. I won't put him like up at there at the top, in like the top 10, top 20, but he's a great filmmaker in the sense that he knows when he's making a movie, he puts his all into it and does a good job doing what he needs to do in his films. One of my favorites of his was Old School. I believe, I'm not sure if that was his first film, but that's one of my absolute favorites. Starsky and Hutch, great film. I was talking somewhat about this yesterday. Joaquin Phoenix, obviously, we know he's a great actor. He has been ever since he was a kid. And then there's other people in there. I believe Zazie Beetz is in this movie as well. I remember seeing her in the trailers. And even Robert De Niro, we know he's one of the greats. He's one of the great actors out there, no matter how you feel about him and how much he has to go out there and put his politics out there in the world. But that's just it's just it is what it is. I'm not really surprised that this movie came out and was really good. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about too before I get into a bunch of other things is I recently seen that a lot of people are making this big deal about Jimmy Kimmel and the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Joaquin Phoenix was on there. I'm not sure if it was a day ago, 2 days ago, or what it was, but he had Joaquin Phoenix on there and was interviewing him, talking to him about the Joker movie, his role, and just things like that, getting into the role and all these kinds of things. And he rolled this clip in which it was kind of a behind the scenes thing, in which Joaquin Phoenix was talking to the cinematographer on set, getting upset with him, cursing at him, just things like that, as the cinematographer was just there off camera talking to him. And we see that he kind of went at him. He was being abrasive and maybe being a bit harsh, and I'm saying maybe for what I'm getting ready to get into. um you seen Joaquin Phoenix kind of react to it. um it put him in kind of an uncomfortable place. It put him for kind of in an uncomfortable place. And I get it, because like, you kind of put there on the spot, and it's like, whoa, like, and anything taken out of context can and will be received wrong. And I think that's kind of what this whole clip, I mean, took him, put him in an odd position. He's kind of like, like, how do I react to this? What do I say? And he did, honestly, I gotta say, he did the best he could. And people are out there now beating up Jimmy Kimmel for what he did and all this kind of stuff. And we all know that Jimmy Kimmel is one of those kind of guys out there. He's Everybody has their opinions about him. He's one of these weird guys. He was on the Man Show, and he was, he was chauvinistic and all these kinds of things. And look at him now. He's got his platform. He's bigger, and look at what he does now. He's just kind of one of these people out there who, I wouldn't say necessarily virtue signals, but he's kind of one of those voices out there who's polarizing, and just some of the things he says and does with his opinions and stuff out there. And for one, I just gotta say, guys, okay, just because he was on the Man Show and all this and stuff, don't pigeonhole him into that. We all change, we all grow up, we all mature and things like that. I'm not gonna hold anything against Jimmy Kimmel. I don't watch his show in the first place, and because I don't care enough to watch his show. But again, so he's known for doing these kinds of things, putting people in these odd positions, and he did that to Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix didn't know how to act. He's kind of like, oh, like, man, he's like, my apologies to the cinematographer. I'll probably have my publicist will probably issue an apology and all this kind of stuff. You don't have to do that, Joaquin Phoenix. You don't have to do that, least of all because of Jimmy Kimmel and what he's doing with his show and the position that he put you in. You don't have to do that. You don't have to, and you don't even have to apologize to the cinematographer. That cinematographer, I can guarantee you, is a big boy, and he's probably worked on movies before. And here's the thing that a lot of people, whether they're gonna go after Joaquin Phoenix for what he did in this clip, or even Jimmy Kimmel and all that stuff. Okay, the thing is when you're on a movie set, it's a professional movie set. No matter how people are acting, they're making a movie. They're making a dramatic piece here. Okay, and doing these roles, it's not easy. It is a craft. I don't care what anybody says out there. Actors work hard. They work hard at their craft. They have to get into these roles. They have to put themselves in the right frame of mind. Sometimes they get in their own heads, and that's why they have to go through the whatever process it is to get into those roles. We know there's other actors out there who have done this, who've gone out there and, once, Jim Carrey did it there for a while. Once he was in that role, getting ready, once they started shooting that movie, he went out there and put that persona out there for the media to see and do, because that's just part of their particular process and what they do for the movies and how they prepare and present the movie. That's an actor's journey. Chances are you don't know about it. And I'm not saying you guys specifically. I'm saying just people out there who might be watching this, or people who just don't know. That is just an actor's journey. That's what they do. Cinematographers, that's what they do. They're out there. I doubt they have paper thin skin and they're crying. I doubt the cinematographer's out there like, "Oh my god, Joaquin Phoenix was so mean to me. I don't know if I can go back on set again. I don't know if I can shoot another movie." I seriously doubt that. And I'm against all these people who are out there, like I said, who are gonna, be beating Joaquin Phoenix up for being a jerk, or for Jimmy Kimmel for being a jerk and putting him in that odd spot. And you know what the cool thing is about that interview is I was noticing a lot of Joaquin Phoenix's facial reactions and everything, and just the joy that was on his face as he was there talking to Jimmy Kimmel. It reminded me of seeing him when he was a kid in a lot of the movies that he was in when he was growing up. Just that I could see that sparkle in his eye, that twinkle in his smile, even as he was talking about it. You could see he was really into this role and he loved doing it and he was having a good time. And then Jimmy Kimmel comes on and rolls that clip and puts him in an odd position, and he was embarrassed. He was humbled. He was humbled, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I could see that he truly did enjoy making this movie, and that's one other thing that I cannot wait to see this movie for, because I could see that childlike essence in him again. Something you don't really get to see of him on screen, because he's there doing a job and being an actor and playing a role. And again, guys, if there's anybody out there upset at Jimmy Kimmel or anybody upset at Joaquin Phoenix, guys, just cut them some slack, man. This is what they do, okay? By no means does anybody owe anybody apologies here. Least of all Joaquin Phoenix, least of all Jimmy Kimmel. Now, you think Jimmy Kimmel's lost any sleep that night? You think he cares? I doubt it. Now, Joaquin Phoenix, he probably does a little bit. He probably kind of feels a little bit like, dang, man, like, why you gotta do that to me, bro? Like, that's kind of a gut punch here in the middle of this interview that we're supposed to be having a good time. I was talking about this movie. But again, I don't think anybody owes anybody any kind of apologies for that kind of stuff. That's what they do. Chances are you or I, we don't know. I mean, I do enough. Know about the movie making process and what it takes to get into that frame of mind to make movies, to get into the character, to bring that great dramatic performance to the screen. That's what you do. Your cinematographer tries to pull the best out of you. Your director, your producer, they try to pull the best out of you. You react. You do what you do. That's just part of the job. Don't act like you've never been on the job before and not been triggered or upset and kind of lashed out. Maybe not necessarily at your boss, but at somebody else or anything like that. It happens. That's just life. That's just life. So again, guys, don't Don't listen to all these people out there who want to make this like a big talking point to where you got to be on one side of the fence or the other. Again, that's perpetuating a problem. Again, that is just perpetuating a problem. Jimmy Kimmel, Joaquin Phoenix, Todd Phillips, none of these people owe anybody an apology. They certainly don't owe you, viewers, or anything like that an apology neither. They don't. It's just the actor's journey. It's the actor's process, cinematographer's journey, any of that kind of stuff. That's just the movie making process. And I get it if you don't understand it, but that's what it is, okay? That's what it is. So, now all that being said, I can't remember. There was something else I wanted to talk to you, and all of that I kind of got lost. I kind of got lost in it, but altogether, this movie has been garnering some great reviews out of all the people I've seen review it and have quite enjoyed it. Now, oh, that's what it was. A lot of people out there, kind of surprised that this movie is as good as it is, and different things like that. Such a great drama piece, and all these things, and people are like, "Oh, Todd Phillips, this and that." And this is exactly what I expected out of Todd Phillips. You guys have seen me talk here multiple times on the show before about how people who have done comedy, whether it's stand-up comedy, been in comedic movies, directed comedic movies, and stuff like that, and how they make this great transition into drama, and absolutely are great at it. And I've spoke about that a lot, is because for me, I think a lot of it has to do with ad-libbing, being able to improvise while they're on the set. The things that you have to learn in comedy are things that are needed for drama. In the fact that when you're delivering a line, there's just like this fine line in between it being comedic or dramatic. It only takes like that quick to make that dramatic shift. And that's something that I think of Todd Phillips. He was made to make this movie. Like, he's the perfect person because he understands that. He understands that shift. He understands the comedic landscape, the timing, what it takes to be funny. And then to translate that into a great drama is no surprise from me. Absolutely no surprise. Because I'm telling you, people who do the comedy and all those kinds of things, comedic roles, it's not easy to me. And I'll argue this till the day I die, probably. The comedy is the way into it, because that, to me, that's harder than doing the drama. But one leads into the other, and quite possibly one could lead into the other as well. Like, if you're great at drama, chances are you might be good at comedy as well. And to me, there's honestly probably really no in between. There's probably really no in between the two, between the comedy and the drama. One can make you laugh, one can make you cry, and both can do the exact opposite thing as well. The comedy can make you laugh, it can make you cry. Drama, it can make you laugh and it can make you cry. And I think that's why, there's everything really falls in between these things. Some of the great horror movies out there border on the line of cheesy, you know, because, there's things about it that are cheesy, that, maybe make you laugh, but also make you think like, whew, like that could be horrific too. Take a look at The Evil Dead. There's things that happen in that are kind of cheesy, make you laugh, but then when you sit there and watch it, watch what's going on screen, you're kind of like, ooh, like it's kind of chilling and horrific at the same time. It's dramatic in that way. So again, that's just how I feel about it. I could be completely wrong. Let me know what you guys think. But to me, this is no surprise that Todd Phillips brought us this great dramatic piece, this great dramatic work of this movie that is called Joker. And from what I've gathered from just the reviews and other things like that out there that I've seen, is that I was right about one thing. And I believe I talked about this in one of my live streams before as well, that this movie could easily be a movie just called Joker without it being tied to DC or even the character of the Joker altogether. It could easily be that movie, because just what I've heard about this movie is it's just a great dramatic piece, and it really speaks to things in our world, how we interact with each other, the path of somebody who is mentally disturbed or anything like that. And that comes through a lot of ways, through us being lied to, through us people lying to us in the sense that they want to be nice and not hurt us, or people who are just intentionally being hurtful to hurt us. It's just a great dramatic piece. And this movie, without having even seen it, I can tell tell you is exactly what I expected this movie to be. From the director, I expected it to be from the actors, I expected everything that was going into this movie. This movie sounds like it is exactly what I expected, and I'm still going into this movie with no real expectations as I do most movies. My expectation going into any movie is just to be entertained for 90 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, however long the movie is. I just expect to be entertained for that long. And that's really about it. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. I'm gonna go ahead and get here into the live chats and see what everybody has had to say about what I've had to say so far. Um, Kermit the Log, welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. And if you guys haven't checked out any of these guys' channels, you need to go check them out. They're all really great. Lonely Banter, probably my man, I hate to say he's my favorite lonely Florida man because I love Fred Durst, man. I've loved Fred Durst since, God, what was that, 96, 97? I'm sorry, LB, but you have some competition out there with Fred Durst. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but go check out Lonely Banter. He's definitely one of my favorite lonely men out there. And also check out Snowdeb Music and Entertainment. Absolutely funny dude, hilarious guy, and even Kermit the Log. Always a pleasure with all of these creators that I see out there. It's good creators. Always go check out other people's channels. It's always fun. Let's see. Okay. Wookie Lives Matter says, I'm a whole lot nicer to people online than the people I know in real life. Well, hey, that's okay. I'm sure at times I have been. Snowdub says, I might have to go see this Joker movie. Wasn't planning on it, but they are calling it the best movie of the year. Yeah, man. I'm kind of surprised that you weren't planning on going to see it, Snowdub. I gotta be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised you weren't planning on it. But yeah, I mean, people are out there calling it the best movie of the year. I mean, of course, we're not at the end of the year yet because we still got Frozen 2 to come out. We still got Jumanji: The Next Level to come out. And of course, we've still got Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker to come out. All of these movies could be in heavy contention to knock Joker out of the #1 spot of best film of the year. Tell me if I'm wrong. Snowdub says, oh, these white people are dangerous. Yes. Where exactly are white people from anyway? I've always wondered that. Where is Whitelandia? Where's Blacklandia? I don't know. It's confusing. I always thought these were colors. Ah. Let me get my Myrtle on. Wookie Lives Matter says, Jimmy got castrated. He's not the same guy that was on the Man Show. No, he's not. And like I said, we all grow up, we all mature and things like that. And and that's it's kind of funny now that you actually talk about it. Maybe he hasn't for this reason. With the cancel culture that's going on these days, maybe that's why he hasn't been, because he grew up. But I'm surprised there's somebody not out there trying to tear the guy down for all the things that he did on the Man Show back in the day. I'm quite surprised actually. But again, maybe that's because he's not necessarily apologized to the mob. Maybe it's because he's become part of the mob. I don't know. However you feel about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give my personal feelings on that. I'm not going to give I would save something like that for the Trailer Park Live, which is tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Should be a good time. Batman GFYS. Batman, good for your service? Yeah, Batman, good for your service. Good for your service. Oh, yeah, anyway. He says, get the fuck out of here with that scared to go to the theater BS. Yeah, for real though. For real. I agree. There should be no reason to be scared to go to the movie theater. Though I do get it. I do understand people's maybe the reservations when it comes to something like this. Because of the tragedies that have happened, I'm not going to perpetuate those things. But plain and simply, we live in a world where there are people who are complete whack jobs and go out and do these kinds of things to get themselves attention and harm others. And that's absolutely sad. Absolutely sad. But yeah, I completely agree with you about get out of here. Get out of here with all that. The media has singled this movie out for whatever reason. I didn't see the media singling out Rambo that just came out, or singling out Terminator Dark Fate, or singling out Hellboy, or singling out any of these other films, or singling out even Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark was cursing at a kid or two around a kid in the movie. They decapitated Thanos in the movie. I don't see people out there doing any of that. So trying to blame these tragic events on movies is absolutely ridiculous, and I completely agree with you 100%. Wookie Lesmer says Caucasian menace. White people are scary. Yeah, I see white people. Okay, Snowdub says Wookie Jimmy traded in his man card when he signed up to be a shill for radical lefties, and yeah, and like I said, he's made that transition. Is that the word to use? That he's made that transition, and hey, good on him if that's what he has to do, and I understand that. I mean, because he's part of the larger media now, so there's kind of rules to play by when you go into that, and that's not to say that he has to bend to every single will, but the platform that he's on now, he's got to appeal to a wider audience, because the platform that he's on is there to appeal to a wider audience. It's not meant to be a polarizing platform. So I can't blame him for it at the same time. But I completely understand what you're saying there, Snowdub. And I agree. And Wookie says, F Kimmel. Yeah, and like I said, you're free to have those opinions. I have no problem with that. People are entitled to their opinions, and you have your opinion, and that's good. Again, I don't watch Kimmel or enough to even really care. I never even watched him when he was on the Man Show, so I just never watched that show. Aggressively Relaxing says, I watched Joker. It depicts bad people existing with iconic Joker imagery mixed in, and said nothing interesting about either. And I don't doubt it. I'm sure that's a pretty good summation of the film. And like I said, I kind of felt like this movie, just from what I've seen and heard about it, I kind of felt like it could have been a movie just called Joker and been a dramatic piece, like the movies it's been compared to, like Taxi Driver and things like that, without being necessarily about Joker in the DC universe. And that's kind of how I felt about it. Wookie Lives Matter says, I'm seeing it tonight. I'm going to brave the the Nazi horde and spend too much money on popcorn. Yeah, believe me, if you buy that little small popcorn at the movie theater, that's way too much money for popcorn already anyway. So I hear you. He says, maybe I should open carry just to freak people out. I take it you're in a place where you can open and carry, and if that's what you got to do, man, yeah, man, that's on you, man. That's on you. Chances are they might not let you into the theater though, but rightly shouldn't they? Just in case there is one of those madmen out there. But again, that comes down to politics and all that kinds of stuff that I'm not going to talk about here on the channel. Snowdub says, slapping that like button. Got to get to work. Have a great Friday. You as well, sir. Tuck and roll. Kermit the Log says, hail Second Street Marvel. About to go to the theaters to see Joker. Awesome, man. Enjoy the movie, dude. And I want to see Kermit do a review. I want to see you doing a review, Kermit. I want to see it. Russell says, missed a good portion of this because I had to chat with some customers. No problem, man. No problem. It'll be here for you to watch. Wookie Last Man says, I'm saving all my ammo for episode 9. And by that, he means verbal ammo, folks. He means verbal ammo. I know it. Wookie. Oh, man, you're funny. Russell says, I expect more from movies. The 1 to 3 hours they run for isn't worth the ticket price. The conversations and memories made, however, are fully worth the ticket price. I agree. Now, for me, where I live at, I think ticket prices are probably somewhat reasonable compared to what the probably the national average is. So but I think in most cases, most of the movies I'm willing to go out and see at the theater, and I think a lot of them are worth the price to go out there and see it. Now, of course, we know that most of that money from the ticket goes to the theaters, and I don't have any problem with that either. People there, they got jobs, they got to get paid. So, but again, I mean, they are kind of overpriced, and especially for a lot of the things that go into the movie theater experience, being that all the commercials, and sometimes the movie's supposed to start at 7. Next thing you know, it's 7:20, and the movie's just getting started because there's so many trailers before the movie. Sometimes even commercials, and that's upsetting. I'm glad my local theater, doesn't do so much of that, like with the commercials and stuff. Matter of fact, I don't think that after this movie start time, in my theater we actually get any commercials other than just the trailers and that little thing for going to the concession stand to buy popcorn and stuff like that, which to me is a ridiculous one anyway over at Cinemark. Oh, those jalapenos, ah, so hot. No, no. Those jalapenos they have at the movie theater for pansies. They're literally like pickles. They're pickles. They're pickles to me. Um, and that's how I eat them too usually. Wookie Lives Matter says I saw Limp Bizkit at the Family Values tour in the early '90s. Oh dang, you saw him at the man. I never actually caught any of the Family Values tour, but I would have liked to because I know on the Family Values, God, who do they have on there, man? They had, I think they had like there was Korn, Limp Bizkit, Primus. I'm sure Deftones was there. Ice Cube. I know Ice Cube was definitely at one of them. Yeah, and that's great too. And I'm not really into those big like concerts like that are outdoors and all that, those big festivals. I'm not really into that, but some of them I have been. I actually went to the second Ozfest, and that was arguably one of the greatest ones that they ever did. Unfortunately, it was one that Slipknot wasn't on, and I've never seen Slipknot live, and I would love to see Slipknot live. And I'm not like the hugest Slipknot fan. I liked their like first three albums, and after that, I just kind of really stopped paying attention to them so much. But I would love to see Slipknot live. Back in the day, especially with the original lineup, because we know they've lost some members and things like that as well. But yeah, yeah, definitely. And Limp Bizkit, one of my favorite bands. Russell Wells Benjamin says, especially now, at the IMAX tickets are $17. Yeah, yeah, they are. And I think where I live at, like the average price of an IMAX ticket, IMAX, and that's IMAX 3D, is probably pushing right around $15. So where I live at is obviously maybe just a little bit less than where you're at. Um, Russell says, can't forget that $4 Fandango fee. And see, and that's why, I'm not sure what theater you go to. I don't do Fandango, but I'm part of the Cinemark thing right there. And they waive the online fees when you buy tickets, and you get the one free ticket a month, and just different things like that. And there's actually tips that you could do to save money if you're buying multiple tickets as well. Um, but he says Endgame was this year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Wookie Lives Matter says Norway. Norway. Kermit says Ireland is like, oh, okay, okay, about the white people thing. Ireland is like Africa for white people. I thought I thought Germany was like Africa for white people. Am I wrong there? It could be Ireland too. It certainly could be Ireland. I'm not going to deny that. You could very well be right because ooh, you know what? No, I think you're right because the Irish have been just as persecuted as I see where you're going. I got you now, Kermit. I got you. I got you. Wookie Lives Matter says all my family comes from Norway. Yeah, I was gonna say mine. Like on the white side of my family, I believe it's like German, Danish, and I know there's another one in there that I'm forgetting, but I know there's definitely German and Danish. And my father also has Native American. And then my mom, she's Mexican, when it comes to Mexicans, we're just Mexicans, man. I mean, there's different factions and stuff out there as well, but we're not gonna get into all that. It's for me, it's really of no consequence, man. I'm the ultimate mutt, so the only thing I don't have in me, as far as I know, is any kind of African heritage. But of course, people would argue that we all do. So I don't know. It just depends on how you look at those kinds of things. I don't know. The way I see it is, we all bleed red, right? Well, at least most of us do anyway. Um, okay, Kermit says, okay, we'll do a review. Yeah, I gotta see Kermit do a review. That's gonna be good. He says, it got my ticket for less than $10. Awesome. So I'll just assume if you got it for less than $10 that you're not seeing it in IMAX. And I'm not even sure if this Joker is even in IMAX, and probably definitely not in 3D, I would guess. But yeah, awesome, man. That's good. Me, if something's in IMAX, I gotta go see it in IMAX. And if it's in IMAX 3D, depending on the movie, I'll go see it in IMAX 3D too. I'm not big on 3D. Most of the movies actually disappoint me in 3D. I think one of the best movies I've seen in 3D was The Force Awakens. That movie was absolutely moving and very beautiful in 3D. I did see The Last Jedi in 3D as well, and I thought it served 3D well. The Last Jedi, again, that movie is one I will argue is very beautifully shot. It's a very beautifully shot film. it's just not the greatest film. And we could all debate that all day long. um, Mookie says rule number one: always bring a woman with a big purse to the movies. Yes, you got to be able to sneak your kid in somehow. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, I just keister. Anyway, aggressively relaxing says Warner Brothers, DC, and geeks in general have been selling the idea that Joker represents evil, giving incredible name recognition that the movie wanted to ride, but get upset when people have strong feelings. Yeah, and I understand what you're saying there. Yeah, and that's the tricky thing about all of it. That's the tricky thing about the whole thing in general. When it comes to that, I mean, when you're out promoting a movie and different stuff like that, it's tricky, especially when it comes to something like this. It's just that this movie has largely been singled out by a lot of the mainstream media, and then just other people out there with big voices on, be it Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube, and things like that. It's more of a polarizing talking point for people. Aggressively says Slipknot was incredible live back in the day. Having a ton of percussion makes a killer show. They set themselves on fire, and one dude had to leave the stage because he was bleeding from the head. Yeah, yeah, they are. And you know what? Who else was another one? Probably the most intense band I've ever actually seen live. Actually, intense band was Deftones. I seen them come out on their Around the Fur tour, and I gotta tell you, man, I was blown away, dude. Like Chino Marino was out there freaking bouncing around on the stage like a madman, going absolutely crazy. And that was on Around the Fur. Okay, I had some friends that seen them back before Adrenaline even came out, and then after it came out, and said that he was even way more bonkers before, sitting there hitting himself with the microphone, just going absolutely nuts. Same kind of thing, bleeding on stage and all kinds of stuff. And he used to do that, and by no means I don't think he can do that these days, man. Like Chino Marino, he's a great singer and everything, but I think he need to go keto or something, bruh. But yeah, Slipknot. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen them back in the day. Just like Marilyn Manson. I'm not a huge Marilyn Manson fan, but I'd love to see Marilyn Manson live in concert. He's just a great performer. He's a performer, not just an artist, but performance. He puts out a performance. He's an entertainer. And he's certainly been polarized in that arena as well. A lot of people, a lot of the imagery and stuff that he has used in the past, and probably even still currently, kind of invokes reactions out of people. And yeah, again, he's an entertainer. Yeah. Russell Wells Benjamin says, I've ate a Taco Bell meal in the theater. No shame. No, no, you can't check the purse. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I take in my own snacks. Nowadays, I just take my water, and that's really all I eat. Sometimes I'll have some of my kids' popcorn and stuff like that, but I've got to have movie theater popcorn if I'm going to have popcorn at a movie theater. But generally, me, I don't really eat at the theater or anything. Wookie Lives Matter says, I'm as white as someone can get without being ginger. All right, all right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and that'd be Norwegian. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Kermit the Log says Mexicans equals Irish with a tan. Right, right. Actually, I don't know. Wouldn't yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and go along with that. He says no seeing it normal and the early bird special, and that's how I always try to see my movies. I like to get out and see them early, like the first showing and all that stuff, because usually most people aren't there. Most people are working and stuff like that. I always try to get out to the first viewing of the day, for that reason, because it's cheaper and there's usually less people. Russell Wells Benjamin says best 3D movie Doctor Strange. Okay, right. Man, I did completely forget about that, because that was actually pretty good. The only thing is I don't remember in Doctor Strange it having a whole bunch of those jump out effects out there, and but I do remember that actually being really good in IMAX 3D as well. You're right, Russell Wells Benjamin. Thank you for reminding me about that. And that one's actually just really good, even on my theater here at home, and I don't even have a 4D TV or anything like that. But that's how good that one is. Like, it makes my wife nauseous watching that movie. Aggressively relaxing says, I met an Irish Mexican once. He was blonde haired, and he was a blonde haired orphan that spoke no English in Mexico City. I almost feel like you're alluding to something there, but yeah, that's that's pretty funny. Blonde haired orphan that spoke no English in Mexico City. Huh, crazy. Piranha 3D. I never seen that one. I've never seen Piranha. Um, he says, Kermit says, that sounds confusing. Wookie Lives Matter says, Piranha 3D was filmed in my hometown. Oh, nice, nice. Wookie Lives Matter says, Manson and Rammstein was probably the most intense stage show. Nice. Yeah, and like I said, I haven't seen Manson, but I've also heard the same thing about Slayer, and I've never seen Slayer in concert, man. I've never seen Slayer in concert, but I've heard that their shows are absolutely crazy. I'll tell you, I did see Suicidal Tendencies in concert before, and if anybody out there knows, man, you don't want to mess with them Suies, man. Them Suicidal Tendencies fans, they're they're nuts. They're nuts, and they're pretty intense. They're pretty intense, and I love Suicidal Tendencies. They're great. Wookie Lives Matter says Guar maybe. Guar, I've never seen Guar neither, but I heard they're pretty crazy live as well. I have seen ICP, and I heard they do somewhat similar of a kind of show in some of their theatrics and things like that. I remember I seen ICP, and I just remember leaving the concert venue completely sticky and covered and drenched in Faygo root beer. Aggressively says Marilyn Manson is a man that genuinely likes pageantry. Yeah, agreed. Kermit says Piranha 3D was terrible and great. 19K Fox, good morning to you as well, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Russell Wells Benjamin says, I'm sorry, I've changed my answer. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the 3D was dope. Yeah, and that I did see that one in 3D as well too. That was really good. But again, I think like the most into a movie I felt just like completely engulfed in was The Force Awakens. Like that movie, on two occasions, like it brought tears to my eyes, and not even just like out of emotionality because it was an emotionality in the movie that was making me cry. It's just because like there was an intense scene that really sucked me into the movie. I was like, holy crap, man. Because I know I went and seen it in IMAX 3D, and then I went and seen it like in regular theater, and then I went back and seen it in IMAX 3D again, and both times in IMAX 3D, because it didn't do that to me when I seen it in the regular theater. But in 3D, it done it both times. I was just like, damn, man, like it really, really sucked me into the experience. I don't know how else to say it other than that's just what it did to me. It invoked that emotion out of me, and it was quite crazy. Wookie Lives Matter says Slayer is awesome live, and I bet they are, man. And I've heard a lot of people say, you know what, you don't want to see Slayer live, man. Like you freaking be ready for it, because I've heard they are absolutely intense live. Not only the band, but just because of the crowd. And I've seen videos where you see the crowd at a Slayer show, and there's not a person in the crowd that isn't out there moshing. I've seen videos of that. But that's their music, man. That's the music that they make, and that's freaking great. I love it. And I'll tell you, the closest I've seen to that, as far as reactions out of a crowd and just being in that intense of a crowd, is Limp Bizkit. The crowd, love them or hate them, Limp Bizkit gets people freaking moving live, dude. I've seen Limp Bizkit literally tear a place up. As far as the crowd is concerned, and that dude, that's one of the things I like about Limp Bizkit. Love him or hate him, man, they really pull a lot out of their fans, man, and even their haters. They put on a great show and an intense show. Really good stuff. And again, they're one of my favorite bands. I actually have a Limp Bizkit tattoo on me. I can't really show it to you. Because it's one I did myself, and I did in a spot, and it was just it's on my leg. It's on my leg. It's not like on my ass or anything. it's not on my butt cheek. Although I guess it should be, because I like Limp Bizkit like that. Not like that, but that much, I guess. Yeah. Russell Wells Benjamin says the comic book style animation coupled perfectly with the 3D. It did, yeah, it did. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was really great in 3D as well. He says, other than that, the only great 3D experience I remember was James Cameron's Avatar. And I'm pretty sure I seen that one in 3D as well. And that was like the first big one out there that was really groundbreaking in its 3D animation, and why it ended up having that record for so long that Avengers Endgame just broke. He says all other 3D movies have just been way too muddy for me. Yeah, yeah, and and I'll tell you guys one thing: don't ever go watch a movie in that real D 3D bull crap. That is absolutely the worst. Because I went and seen I think Black Panther in real D 3D, and that was like one of the worst movie going experiences I ever seen because of that real D 3D. Like right in the center of the screen was fine, but by the time you get into the outlying parts of the screen, it was just blurry. It looked like crap. It was just a bad experience. A bad experience. And that wasn't due to the movie. It was that real D 3D crap. Because I think I seen like one other one in real D 3D, and I thought maybe it was just a movie or something. But that real D 3D sucks. Save your money. Just go see an actual movie in IMAX 3D, or just go see it in regular. Don't waste your money on that real D 3D crap. And I actually did go see a movie in that D box one time where the stuff shakes and everything. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I think it was Deadpool 2. I went and seen that in. That was a pretty cool experience. I want to. If it wasn't so expensive, I'd probably go watch movies with that D box in there. It's almost a shame that they don't do D box IMAX 3D. That would be pretty cool. Wookie says I've been to Slayer concerts since I was 14 in the late 80s. Ooh, and that was the time to see him, man. In the late 80s, definitely, definitely. I think another time that would have been great to see him, and you'll know what date it was. You'll know when it was. I'm not going to mention it here because you'll know Wookie. I think another great time to have seen him would have been after God Hates Us All came out. I think that would have been an experience to see them live after God Hates Us All came out. A lot of you probably don't know when that was. You can go look it up. I'm not really going to bring it up, but I think that would have been one hell of a time to see Slayer live, was after God Hates Us All came out, because that, for one, that was a great album, one of my favorite albums of theirs as well. But also just the time that came out in, I think it would have actually helped add to maybe just their performance and just kind of everybody out there in the crowd, just like the feeling in the crowd. I think it would have been probably quite a cathartic experience to be at that Slayer show after God Hates Us All came out. Yeah. But yeah, man, since the late 80s, that's crazy, man. And you know what? Another one of my favorite bands growing up was Motley Crue. And, people, my friend went to see like their last show, their farewell show and all that stuff. I don't want to see all that. I want to see Motley Crue back circa 1982, 84, right around Too Fast for Love and Shout at the Devil, around those times when it was all the drunken debauchery and everything that they were, man. Like, they were, like them or hate them because they were a hair band or whatnot. They're not heavy metal. They're just, a rock group. They were, more hair band. I would have loved to have seen them around those times, man. Like early to mid 80s. That was the time to see Motley Crue. Everything after that was just kind of, it's Motley Crue. Russell Wells Benjamin says, I seen the recent Star Wars in regular IMAX. Didn't want to risk the experience. Yeah, The Last Jedi, I seen that one in IMAX 3D. I seen both of those in IMAX 3D, and I've got to tell you, like the Force Awakens, it was really great in IMAX 3D. And again, like I said, The Last Jedi was really great in IMAX 3D too. And that might be part of the reason why I really liked it, like when it first came out. And then, later as time goes on, it's kind of like, well, yeah, there's some things here not to be desired, And I'm not saying that I hate the movie. I mean, I still like the movie. People out there certainly hate the movie. But yeah, but for me, it certainly has more bad than it has good in it. LB says, Second Street Marvel did it all for the Nookie. And believe me, I did too, man. I have there's no shame in my game. I definitely did it all for the Nookie. There's been plenty of things I've done for the Nookie. I'm not really going to go into that. Real D 3D equals headache. Yeah. For me, the real D 3D experience, it was actually frustrating. I mean, aside from a headache, it was frustrating. I left the theater kind of pissed off that I wasted my money doing that. Real D 3D is trash, and they need to get rid of it. CLB, I don't like everything. LB says Black Panther needed real CGI. Well, For me, the only problem with Black Panther and the CGI in it was just there at the end, that last fight scene. That was where it was really bad. Other than that, I mean, I thought most of it was pretty well done. They did it all for the Wookiee. Yeah, for the Wookiee. He says, "Holy shit, I'm old." Nah, man, you're not old, dude. I'm 40. You probably have some years on me, possibly from what it sounds like. But that doesn't make you old, man. Being old is a state of mind. Being young is as well. And I still feel like an 18-year-old a lot of times, except for this week, man. I've really felt beat up, man. I need to go see my chiropractor. Probably need to get a massage, and I'm getting ready to go into a long, hard weekend too. Um, Russell Wells Benjamin says, "Wookie, I'm so sorry for your recent diagnosis of old age. I'll prescribe one fountain of youth." Yes. Wookie Lives Matter says, "I saw the God Hates Us All tour. South of Heaven was the one I liked the most." Oh yeah, South of Heaven would have. I bet that was great. But I can imagine the God Hates Us All tour was really good. Like I said, because you know as well as I do, Wookie, when that came out, and I can imagine that would have been great for a number of reasons. Probably because a lot of people there probably found it cathartic and probably needed to get a lot of that tension out. And Slayer is certainly a way to do it. Certainly a way to do it. Wookie says, "I saw Motley Crue with Ozzy." Awesome, that would be great because chances are that show was probably at a great time in music history. Russell Wells Benjamin says, "I'll go see The Rise of Skywalker in 3D then." Yeah, I will. I mean, I'm going to go see Rise of Skywalker in IMAX 3D for sure. I will. Because, like I said, even with the Rian Johnson movie, even with The Last Jedi, sorry, guys, that movie is arguably very well shot. It's a beautifully shot movie. No matter how you feel about the movie, it's got great cinematics. It's very beautifully shot. He says, "Thanks for the info." Yeah. You're welcome. Kermit the Log says, "I thought you were way younger." No, I'm 40 years old, man. Gonna be 41 here at the end of the year, bro. It's you probably can't see it much. That's why I try to stay shaved. You can't see all that gray in there, and also because I'm balding as well. That's why I stay shaved nowadays. So I don't show my age so much. Kermit says, went to yoga yesterday for the first time in a year. Awesome. I love yoga. And there's something I've always talked about yoga. Yoga is good for your health. For more than one reason. I mean, it helps with your stretching. It helps with a lot of things, and to me, it really helps with your mind as well. It puts you in, and it's a workout. It puts you in a right state of mind. And I've always kind of felt that if everybody out there in the world took even just a half hour out of every single one of their days to do some yoga, the world would be a much, much better place. And I'm not even kidding around. I truly think it would be. Wookie Lives Matter says, "Growing old is inevitable. Growing up is optional." Absolutely, 100% agree. But I've gone on for way too long here today, folks. But again, that's because of all you awesome viewers. Thank you all so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. Don't forget that tonight is Friday. It's going to be the Trailer Park Live, and that is at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Where I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to talk about. I may not get a well-produced video out there to put at the beginning of it like I normally do, but it's gonna be a good time, as it always is. Any time that you guys show up for any of these live streams, you guys are what make these live streams so fun to do, and just different things like that, man. You guys are absolutely awesome. But that's all I have for the morning movie chat today, folks. I hope you all get a chance to go out and see Joker sometime soon. I'm hoping I get to go out and see it sooner than later, but thank you all so much for tuning into Second Street Marvel today. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, give it a thumbs down. It's all good. It's going to feed my ego either way, because in case you guys can't tell, my ego is just huge. My my ego is bigger than Jeremy's even. You guys know I'm just kidding, man. But thank you all so much for tuning in to the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you all in the next video. Later. Hey, work. Oh, this thing. There you go. You all have a good night. Have a good day. I hope you all get out to see Joker very soon, and honestly, hopefully nothing bad happens out there. I haven't heard of anything bad happening yet, so don't be scared of that, folks. And if there is, be prepared to do something. You don't have to be a hero, but do something. Do something.